Hi, it's Miles Red Songbird in Manhattan, giving you a glimpse of some of nature that we get to see in Manhattan, even if we're not in Central Park, Washington Square Park, or some of the other wonderful parks that they have all over Manhattan, which I used to take my children to after school so they could play and run and enjoy their childhood. This is Chris, the program director here at St. Francis Residence 3. He was St. Bartholomew, Jesus Christ disciple. And it was his idea. He was also my husband, Eve's husband. It was his idea to get us tables. You see this table? You see what a wonderful, look at there, holds my shoes, and my papers, and my books, and my coffee, and my clock. I don't know what I would have done without it. We were praising these tables in Maria Cott's writing group today, and Maria said, "Oh, why don't you tell Chris it's not that he's looking for praise, but he'll be happy to know that you were able to use the tables," because everybody was saying what they do. Michael said he puts his table up to eat on, then he takes it down when he's finished eating till the next meal. So that's a good idea. Okay, so what I want to do, I said to Maria, I never liked poetry, even though I was Robert Frost, I was Shakespeare, I was Emily Dickinson, I was Mark Twain, and I was song lyricist Ira Gershwin and Oscar Hammerstein Jr. Plus, as Michelle Birdsong, I wrote song lyrics for Edwin Birdsong album, What It Is and Supernatural. And I wrote the lyrics to Roy Ayers' song, Pretty Brown Skin. But my writing was direct, and poetry escaped me. So I said to Maria, this class is teaching me how to understand poetry and how to like poetry. And she said, you know, this class is teaching me the same way because I never liked poetry. This is what Maria said. I never liked poetry. I was a prose person, a reality prose person. And conducting this class and showing you how to appreciate each line and each poem is giving me an appreciation and awareness of poetry. So let me just share a few things we learned here. Okay, perhaps the world ends here. Of course, I just wrote a piece in the previous video, St. Francis of Assisi's 3 writing group in New York City, 10/15/18, that the world begins here. It's not ending. But it says, the gifts of earth are brought and prepared, set on the table, so it has been since creation, and it will go on. And we talked about the way that gifts of earth are prepared. Hunters, which I'm against. Farmers who grow fruits and vegetables, I'm all for. And prepared, the mother, with her love for her family, prepares the food that the farmer grows. And she sets it on the table so it's appetizing, looks nice. And that's the way it's been, and that's the way it will continue to be. We chase chickens or dogs away from it. Chickens and dogs and other animals should not be in the homes. They are nasty in the home. They belong outside. Okay, babies teeth at the corners. They scrape their knees under it. We talked about as children we ran and played and we fell and scraped our knees. I can remember a scrape on my knee. And that was all very healthy, very normal. Now, in Manhattan, they don't even do physical education in schools. The children can't run and play. There's no room. That's why I took my children to the parks so they could scrape their knees and see that, oh, you can be hurt, but you can heal, and you can live with the pain. This is a huge lesson in life. Okay, it is here the children are given, at the table, she means, it is here the children are given instructions on what it means to be human. We make men at it, and we make women. Okay, so, you know, we tell our children, we give them manners on how to be. You know, you don't interrupt people when they're talking, and you wait your turn. and other lessons like that. We make men at it. You know, we feed the men, and the men praise the women, the mothers, the cooks, and they feel good about themselves. Oh, I'm appreciated. Somebody likes what I'm doing. It's hugely important because you have to eat to live. You know, they said it up here. We must eat to live. So I'm feeding people. I'm helping people live. And they appreciate it. My husband appreciates it. And when my children grow more mature, they will appreciate what I'm doing also. They're learning the meaning of things at this stage when they're children. At this table, we gossip, recall enemies, and the ghosts of lovers. Okay, it means we gossip, we talk. We talk about the neighbors. You know, we share. We talk about our enemies. And Michael talked about his girlfriend. She was an RN, and she was in love with him, and she was good for him. And he was able, he said, to create art better than ever when he was with her. But his father spoke against her. So they were going to move in together. And when his father spoke against her, Michael let her go. And that's too bad because she was good for him. And he doesn't have anybody now. Any, personal love. Our dreams drink coffee with us as they put their arms around our children. They laugh with us at our poor falling down selves and as we put ourselves back together once again at the table. Okay, so we're saying that when we have some mediocre little job and falling down selves and we realize we had big dreams, we talk it through and put ourselves back together, saying, well, I'm going to just work harder and focus better and I can still achieve my dreams, put ourselves back together, see? And I said it's the same in this writing group. You know, we put ourselves through pain writing about hurtful things, but then we're able to look at it in perspective, talking about it with others particularly. We can put it in perspective and see that, oh, it wasn't so bad. Oh, it taught us a lesson about this, that, and the other. So we put ourselves back together once a week here in this writing group. Okay, this table has been a house in the rain, an umbrella in the sun. It's a shelter from the water from the heavens, which is great to water the trees, but it's not so great raining on us. Although there's a lovely song, just walking in the rain, getting soaking wet, da 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 da, da 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 da. And Gene Kelly, who Michael John Spear, great master, said Gene Kelly was a sexier dancer than Fred Astaire. You know, and he does a dance with an umbrella in the rain, and it's quite creative. You might want to Google it and look at Gene Kelly's dancing in the rain, dancing and singing in the rain. It's very entertaining. Okay, and an umbrella in the sun. Now I look into the eyes of the sun, you know, and the sun performs for me because I'm his daughter, and he even impregnated me once. But I didn't believe it, so the children left my womb and have what is called a miscarriage. Now, Govinda Singh impregnated me with his eye energy. He entered my being, the windows, eyes are the windows of the soul. He went through my windows into my soul and left the seeds of twins. Then I went to the sun. And the sun, with its radiant qualities, sparked the seedlings into twins, a boy and a girl, Giancarlo Arturo and Aria Elizabeth. Just like these babies. They're sleeping, growing, developing in my womb, waiting to be born. I think they're going to be Aquariuses. This is Princess Kate. when she first had her baby, and to the right of her is Prince Harry and Prince William, royals. This is Charan Singh Ji, who is my personal spiritual guide, who is reincarnating as Giancarlo Arturo. So continue being my personal spiritual guide. As dirt under my feet. It says children are dirt under the feet of the parents. Okay. So, wars have begun and ended at this table. Is the place. This is Queen Victoria, also, and Michelangelo, and Galileo. She's extremely... And I said Queen Victoria, Empress of India, right? She's going to be the first black queen of England, Robin Birdsong. Keep an eye out. A very deserving soul, a very good soul. She's a disciple of Gurinder Singh and also has been doing meditation for many years and has been a lacto-vegetarian almost all her life. Means no meat, no fish, no eggs, and nothing containing their essences. Okay, back to the poem. Wars have begun and ended at this table. It is a place to hide in the shadow of terror, a place to celebrate the terrible victory. So I told her that my uncle, Brother Wright, who was Charan Singh Ji, projected, used to pray before we ate. And he always prayed for the soldiers fighting the wars. Okay, and we hid from the wars in the shadow of terror in our homes, safe and sound, while the boys overseas fought and died to give us freedom. Okay, and the table is a place to celebrate the terrible victory. When Harry Truman, who was singing Birdsong, Charan Singh, gave the order to drop the bomb on Nagasaki and Hiroshima to stop the unstoppable Japanese military, we were able to celebrate a terrible victory. It was a terrible victory because men and some women died to give us a victory. But I would rather have a terrible victory than a defeat, so I'm not complaining. It was a costly victory, as Maria Cott said. It's a costly victory. I thought that was perfect. And Bill Leader, whose picture I do not have, sad to say, said when I read my piece about all the souls connected to me incarnationally, he said, wow, that's a lot. She said a lot. And it sounds like it's a nothing statement, but it's very, very true. I said a lot because I told all these amazing people and our connections one with the other. Okay, so that's the poem. Why don't you read it and see what it means to you? That's the thing about poetry. You take each line and say, what does this mean to me? This thing about dreams, Carlos Castaneda said, Shakespeare said, we are the stuff dreams are made of. I was Shakespeare in a previous life. Okay, so I knew that then. And what we dream for our children helps our children know what they can be. Okay? I dreamt the best for my children. I made them know that they were the best. And I raised them as though they were royals. And they are. And I didn't know I knew they were royals, but I raised them to be royals. Also my son, sing Birdsong here. I raised him to be a royal, and he's going to be king of the world. He was Jagat Singh Ji, one of the perfect living masters at the Tower of Jesus Christ Consciousness. Okay, that's Singh with his mother when she was homeless. That's me. Okay, so, I could go on. As Trevor Drew says, speak it into being. So some of these are dreams. Some of these have already started to manifest, and I'm speaking it into being. Miles Red Songbird in New York City. Talk to you again about more dreams. Dream your big dreams and make them come true by believing in them. Okay. Well, here it is. My daughter Robin sent me this on WhatsApp. It said she believed, the D's not here, she believed she could. And you know what Robin wrote? I believe in you. Isn't that amazing? My daughter loves me and believes in me. It's been a long time coming, as Sam Cooke said. But I was so happy. And Sing and I wrote a song, I Believe in You. And we wrote it for Jindara, who was Baba G. And her mother was taking her away from us. And that's why we wrote the song, and he sang it so beautifully. He was Mozart, he was George Gershwin, he was Vangelis, the Greek composer of electronic music, genius fame. And he was Jimi Hendrix. So Sing did that. He did the music in 10 minutes. You know, I advise you to listen to the song. It's a Michelle Birdsong's song, I Believe in You. And Michael Bublé sang to me, to Eve. He's Adam. Adam sang to Eve, I believe in you. And while saying it, he felt himself able to believe in himself as Eve believes in him. And he said in another song, you always believed in me. So they're communicating over the airwaves in a supernatural kind of way, but I'm explaining supernaturalness to you when I explain how they do it. Okay, for sure now I'm going to sign off. Miles Red Songbird in New York, signing off till next time. You are you. Now, isn't that pleasant? Dr. Seuss. She was Dr. Seuss. And she co-wrote the book with me. Sneezy the Greasy Baby, says Abigail. Okay, and that's Abigail Jindara, who we wrote the song I Believe in You for. Okay, there's so many connections. Really, it takes time to digest them all. All right, so long.